Hey, this is Math, Chapter 1, Lesson 2, Ratios. We always start with a review from the previous lesson. So pause your computer on this slide, find the greatest common factor for 12 and 30, and then do number 2. Remember on number 3 and 4, you're finding the least common multiple. So you're going to make a table of the count bys. Give that word problem a try. Check your answers on the next slide. Pause the slide here to check your answers. Make sure to do all of your work in your math notebook. How do we use equivalent rates in the real world? What will we learn today? To write a ratio in simplest form, compare categorical data using ratios. The vocabulary is ratio. Write the ratio in simplest form that compares the number of red paper clips to the number of blue paper clips. Then explain its meaning. Always pay attention to the explain part. That shows me that you understand what you're doing. Write the ratio as a fraction, then simplify. The red paper clips will be our numerator. The blue paper clips will be the denominator. So we have 2 red paper clips and 6 blue paper clips. If we simplify, we can divide by the greatest common factor of 2 and 6. The greatest common factor is 2. When you divide, you simplify the fraction to lowest terms. We get 1 to 3. The greatest common factor of 2 and 6 is 2. The ratio of red to blue paper clips is 1 to 3. 1, 2, 3, or 1 to 3. This means that for every 1 red paper clip, there are 3 blue paper clips. Notice that there are 3 different ways to write a ratio. We can write a ratio just like a fraction. We can write a ratio with the word to, and we can write a ratio using a colon. On this example, pause your computer, do the math in your math notebook, save it for later, show all of your work. Write the ratio in simplest form that compares the number of baseballs to the number of soccer balls, then explain its meaning. Pause the video, show all of your work. When you're ready, press play. Several students named their favorite flavor of gum. Write the ratio that compares the number who chose fruit to the total number of students. So the total number of students would be all of the students. Okay, so we have 9 students that chose peppermint, 8 students chose cinnamon, 3 students chose fruit, and 1 student chose spearmint. But how do I find all together? So we're going to add them all up. And we get that there are 21 students. The fruit flavor responses go on top, and the total number, the sum of all of the add-ins put together, goes on the bottom. 3 to 21. Ask yourself, can we simplify this? Do 3 and 21 have any common factors? Yes, they do. 3 is the greatest common factor of 3 and 21. Divide by the greatest common factor on the top and the bottom, and you're left with a fraction in simplest form. This is the way to write the ratio. Remember, when you write a ratio, you should always simplify it. The greatest common factor of 3 and 21 is 3. The ratio is 1 to 7, 1 to 7, or 1 to 7. So 1 out of every 7 students preferred fruit-flavored gum. Need another example? Students were asked to name their favorite kind of book. 7 students chose sports, 9 chose history, 4 chose mystery, and 5 chose fantasy. Write the ratio in simplest form that compares the number of students who chose fantasy books to the total number of students. Press pause. Show all of your work in your math notebook. We will go over it later together. If you have any questions, save your questions. When you're ready, press play. Monday's yogurt sales are recorded in the table. Write the ratio that compares the sales of strawberry yogurt to the total sales. Then explain its meaning. So again, they ask us to compare the ratio of strawberries to the total. This is a part to the whole. So there are 8 strawberry, and all together you're going to add up 3 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8. And we get 24. So strawberry yogurt sold were 8 out of 24. You divide by the greatest common factor of 8 and 24, which is 8, and we get a simplified ratio of 1 to 3, or 1 to 3. So 1 out of every 3 yogurt cups sold were strawberry. Need another example? A department store conducted a study to determine what age group shops in their store. Write the ratio that compares the number of customers that are 0 to 17 years to the total number of customers. Again, we're going to compare part to whole. Press pause, do your work, press play when you're ready to go on. Number 4, Katie wants to divide her 30 flowers into 2 groups so that the ratio is 2 to 3. Use a bar diagram to show a ratio of 2 to 3. 2 parts, 3 parts. There are 5 equal sections, so each section represents 30 divided by 5, or 6 flowers. There are 12 flowers in one group and 18 in the other. Need another example? Divide 35 cans of food into 2 groups so that the ratio is 3 to 4. So you're going to start with a ratio table, count by 3s on the top, count by 4s on the bottom, add the 2 together until you come to a sum of 35. Pause the video, show your work, save your questions for when we work together. How did what you learned today help you answer the essential question? How do you use equivalent rates in the real world? Think about that and we'll talk about it during our lesson later. Your ticket out the door, draw 2 triangles, 4 squares, and 6 circles. What is the ratio of squares to total shapes? You can use your colored pencils, you can use crayons, you can be creative in your drawing, but make sure that you draw it, show me your thinking, bring your work to class later. Bye for now.